Trekkies. Hi, so, it's 9:28. Servers just came back up. I'm probably not gonna be logging in because I know how these patch things go. And they're just like, I mean, I've got Star Trek Online boned. I've been bored all morning. And I just thought, I'll wait, maybe see. I mean, the most recent thing is today, 25th, at 8:31, while I was doing yoga. So it just says it's now live. Anything about that specifically? No, okay, it's just now until Halloween, right? Yes. Keys are on sale 15%. That is the smallest amount of news I have in this video. Don't think I need to have a link below. It's keys are 15% off until Halloween at 10 a.m. So basically you have until Sunday, unless you wake up early like me and can buy keys Halloween morning. Next, we're gonna do this in a weird order because I've got release notes, which are big, and box stats. So there's going to be annotations down here. If you don't care about the release notes, I'm not gonna go through everything, but I'm gonna go through what seems pertinent that has changed this time around, because this is kind of like patch notes for a patch, not just release notes for a regular old weekly patch thing. And then they'll be low to like, what about the boxes that's different and cool? And then there'll be the other one that says, you know, the ship stats. So this video is long, but we're gonna get into this. So what came in today, featured episode, Echoes of Light, deals with the Lucari, gonna go on exploration thing. I saw a picture of some Gekli. We went over that one last week, but it's a regular featured episode, so anybody 10 and above can play it. You play it once a week and you get better, you know, you'll see like week 1, this will be week 1, so week 2, week 3, I'm not sure how many weeks this is going on, maybe 4? I've seen them go up to 4 before. So K-13 Fleet Holdings coming in. It's been lost for 140 years. Restoring K-13 will allow the development of interesting retrofitted technology and exotic xenobiological advances for the fleet. Now we have a kit revamp. Kit and kit modules have been revamped and change how kit modules are equipped to support upgrading. That's why. We need to be able to upgrade, but the current system doesn't allow for that. You don't put kit modules into your kits, they directly equip on your status page. So, I don't know how that's gonna look. There's no pictures. Kits now only give passive skill increases, as they did before. I mean, they had their slots, but they also had like plus, 25 willpower. Kit with unique effects will continue to provide those effects. I bet there's a few out there. I think there might have been like an Alachi one or something. Kit modules can still be equipped to give distinct abilities. So you'll still have like your exothermic induction field or your grenades. Anybody actually uses and your target optics and all that stuff. You'll have that. But they're gonna go into the status page that's an equip thing rather than socketed insides. You can now equip 5 modules regardless of level, so you're not gonna gain any more. Also, that research medic and fabrication mechanic, that bullshit's gone away. You're free to equip whatever you want, which is good because I'd like a different kit. There are times where I'd really like a different kit frame, but I need 4 research and a universal, so I had to use the one from the Spire because I wanted no medic. So that was there. The kits can now be upgraded to a maximum of Mark 14 gold, so your passive bonuses will go up, yada yada, and there may be suffix modifiers that get added onto that. Standard kit modules can be upgraded to a maximum of Mark 14 ultraviolet quality. Is that what ultra actually means? Whatever. That thing above purple. Kit modules from block boxes, reputations, and winter-summer events can be upgraded in mark but not quality. All copies of these kit modules are set to gold. Oh, so like ship consoles, the universal consoles, are all gold quality. Still can't upgrade those, but specialization kit modules such as Crystalline Spike, Gem, Subspace Transmissions, Chronoton Jolt, and Subspace Rift cannot be upgraded. Good thing I don't use Subspace Rift anymore. I went back to my gravitic field. Kit modules now show the research time on their tooltip. So kits have been redone, but you can now upgrade your kit modules. I'm not sure which research. It might be ground. Now that I think about it, you might have a ground in your research that'll say kit and then kit module. Graphics update that they've been talking about for months has finally come in. It has been improved to meet the standards of DX11. Compatible cards. The upgrade includes a host of new lighting technologies which will significantly improve the visual quality and is in line with the visual quality released on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. To be fair, I didn't notice a difference when I played it on the PlayStation versus when I played on the computer. Either I have a really good video card here, or I'm too colorblind and don't notice the difference. Or I haven't played those missions in a long time and forget what they supposedly look like. The graphics tabs options, new options have been added, which can be turned on and off. So if it's bogging your video card down, just turn them off and go back to the original. Lighting 2.0 enables clustered forward shading, global illumination with light probes, and improved HDR system. I'll bet you graphics folks know what those mean. I don't. Dynamic lighting, update light based on environment. Alright, each character has been granted 12 additional inventory slots for free. Oh god. There must be at least level 10 to purchase master keys, which this will not prevent them from using them or trading them. You just have to be 10 to purchase them from the C-Store. Players must be level 10 to join a PvP match. Something about 23rd century captains. Galaxy map has been disabled. Enabled ship registry for 23rd century captains. 23rd century captains. Resolved an issue which can cause a square field of dots to appear on the TR-116's muzzle when firing. Whatever. Resolved an issue where summoned drones played the FX glow from captain's powers down to the ground and back again. Oh, I remember that, where it's like you'd see a drone walking around and it just like look around and it was floating on one of those colored beams. Resolved an issue where torches were floating throughout Chronos, so they probably attached them to a wall. Maybe. Primary missions on New Romulus now in its own episode arc called New Romulus in the episode journal. Whole bunch of content changes. Holy, oh my god. Most of this is really, really tweaky. Make it so NPC ship can't get stuck in here. There's just a bunch of things. Like, there's a lot here, but it's like resolved an issue causing low frame rate in the Battle of Procyon 5. Infected space queue, information contact window uses correct bridge officer headshots. It's just little things. There's nothing major changing. Time in a bottle, face shifted, heralds walk now. Alright. Systems, fleet holdings, various item requirements such as torpedoes, devices, etc. and commodity requirements except for contraband have been converted to single energy credit entry. Okay, so there's a way to dump EC now. That's for like putting stuff into projects. I was thinking this was something inside the Fleet Starbase. Any partially completed projects will have their commodity item requirements removed and then replaced with energy credit requirement, and the associated progress will be lost. Contraband will remain a unique entry. Removed any duty officer input requirements on all reputation projects and increase the dilithium input requirements by 100 per duty officer that was previously required. Alright, gonna make it a little harder because duty officers were easy to do. It was dilithium that was, and that may have been it. Duty officers were easy to do. Or duty officers were hard to do because people didn't know you can go buy junk duty officers in your starbase. People were always going to the exchange. But then again, people don't have millions of fleet credit. Updated the speed of non-targetable torpedoes to be faster. The speed of targetable torpedoes has not changed. Oh, okay. Resolved an issue that had caused the Kelvin lockbox uniforms and Boolean assault cannon to be removed from the Lobi store. Okay. The Borg Science Bridge Officer from the Assimilated Accolade is now available on the Reclaim tab at the Dilithium store and can now be unlocked by either completing an Omega Reputation project or completing the Assimilated Accolade. The Klingon Dyson Battle Science Destroyer is no longer called the Dyson Defense Science Destroyer in some UI elements. Oh, okay, let's renaming things here. Resolved an issue where some TOS disruptors were using incorrect weapon proc. Characters. Oh, hair choices, more clothing stuff. UI. Reputations are now hidden until the player is level 50. This does not include the event tab, but yay, that way people are not like, how do I do? So we've had people in the fleet like constantly complain that they can't do anything with the reputations for like, 5 days while they're leveling all the way up to a level cap. Resolved an issue where the medical bay would not list 23rd century bridge officers in the drop-down menu. Admiralty Pass button icon and Admiralty Plus DOF rewards and requirements scroll boxes no longer behind the window when moved. Wow. Alright. Don't know what that is. I mean, I know what the Admiralty system is, I just never experienced that. Slight animation updates to the following. Herald staff weapons interacting with chairs, Federation tutorial cutscenes, Kelid death, holding weapons when moving forward and backwards, forward sprint, contact dialogue animations, melee attacks, and batleth combo power. Dead Undine no longer move. That's a big one. Eyes no longer occasionally pop out when a player sits down. Cryptic, come on, this is simple stuff here. Other than that, known functions, Foundry functions will not be available for an extended period of time due to updates needed to the lighting update made in this release. The lighting may be too bright or too dark on some maps. So they just had like an entire console release with the lighting stuff, and now they put it on their computer and they're like, they still might be too bright or dark on some maps. This might just be for the Foundry, which is why that they've disabled it, but anyways, now we're moving on to the actual lockbox. So for the lockbox, it's a Sphere Builder lockbox, and it comes with a tier 5 ship, a tier 6 low-buy ship, and the big ol' ship. We'll get into those, and the stats will be later in the video, or you can just click to the referencing annotation downstairs. So the biggest prizes of the Sphere Builder lockbox are the ships, obviously. The box grand prize is Sphere Builder Denos Dreadnought Carrier. A formidable carrier capable of using a modular reconstruction technology, as found on the previous ones, the previous ships, the Eternal class, and when we got the whole like shebang, like with the last expansion, that thing where it was explained previously, and it's like you can shift it on like a 10-second cooldown. You can shift to an attack, defense, or support, and you can build up things, and then you have one attack that does increased benefit. It like does a dot, but it does increase benefit based on how many counters you've built up. So like it does more damage if you have a lot of attack counters. It does a longer disable if you have support counter. I don't necessarily like that ability. I do love the Eternal class that I have. But this has that too. Is Chronoton Fragmentation Warhead Launcher. When the starship launches a projectile which detonates into Chronoton warhead fragments shortly before reaching the designated target. So it's like a mine torpedo. And the fragments embedded in the ship. After a few seconds, these fragments then detonate, causing additional kinetic damage, which bypasses shields. That's pretty cool. The console, passive, crit hit, and turn rate. Console may be equipped on any console slot, but can only be equipped on Sphere Builder Starship. Blah, blah, blah. Hate that. Mastery path for this is Delphic Shockwave. Photonic Shockwave power, when used, leaves a hazard behind, which deals radiation damage and reduces damage resistance on foes. Additionally, Photonic Shockwave does not repel foes when this trait is slotted. That's the fun of it. Sphere Builder AoY, I don't know that word, Science Vessel, is the one in the low-buy store, which I may pick up. It's tier 6. Comes with a quantum deceleration field generator. Still can only be equipped on Sphere Builder starships. Passive bonus to particle generators and science readiness, which is your cooldown. Basically, it slows time around you, and the buff stays up. Nearby enemies suffer light speed reductions and damage over time effects. Both increase in potency the longer the enemies maintain in the field. So, good to sit next to a gravity well. Or even the Titan's Rift that's draining something's power, because then you just drain their... Anyways. This enemy ships caught within the field for 5 seconds become held and take additional physical damage. Delphic Phasing. Critically hitting your foe gives a stacking short duration energy resistance buff. At 10 stacks, you gain immunity to the energy damage for a short time. Can only gain 1 stack every 4 seconds. Triggering immunity prevents gaining stacks for an extended period of time. If you crit hit, you get more defense. It's cool, but you gotta crit a lot. I'm just not sure if this counts for, because it's a science vessel, I'm not sure if this counts for exotic abilities. If it does, oh my god. When I have a gravity well down, I'm guaranteed a crit every tick, because I usually pull on so many creatures, or so many mobs. It's just... there is going to be the Sphere Builder Erebus Destroyer from the Sphere Builder box. It's the tier 5 ship. It's a primary attack vessel, can be equipped with Sphere Builder console. If you own the Erebus Destroyer, you can also purchase small craft version to use on the Dreadnought Carrier. So you get frigates. if you have the tier 5 or something like that. Yeah. The ground weapons, genetic resequencers, 2 ground trait, new space traits for each career. For ground, it's distributed energy or distributed shield rerouting for engineering and assault drone fabrication. Reroute power to shields applies lesser shield heal to nearby allies. And support drones gain additional wide beam attack. Tricorder analysis for science. Tricorder scan gives a crit severity buff. Nanoprobe contagion. Reduce the recharge time of nanoprobe infestation if the primary target dies while it's active. Security detail. Security escorts may throw grenades. That's what we need. Stupid NPCs throwing grenades. Like, I thought the bridge officers were bad and I took them all off, but I don't need the dumb NPC. Combined assault. Reduce the recharge time for fire on my mark ground if the target dies while it's active. Face traits. I read these out to Aaron yesterday. These sound really cool. EPS overload. Engineering, of course. You get an additional buff based on whichever power level was highest when you activate EPS power transfer. So if it's weapons, crit chance. Engines, armor pen. Shields, shield pen. Ox, crit severity. Nadion bypass for engineering. Nadion inversion increases energy weapon damage. Does not give the percentages on this, but that's still a buff. It's a good buff. Subnucleonic transferal for science. Subnucleonic beam drains power from the target and it increases your power level. I wonder if that's affected by drain expertise. I was going to say flow capacitors, but I was having a senile moment. Photonic reinforcement. Photonic fleet summons a 4th ship. That's going to be happy. I might wait to see if those go down in price. They may not go down in price. But I may have to buy at least photonic reinforcement, just for the off chance of having a 4th ship. A good day to die, tactical, go down fighting, can be used at any hull level. Awesome. Coordinated targeting solution, reduce the recharge time of fire on my mark space if the target dies while it's active. Alliance researchers have been able to study and deconstruct sphere builder technology, culminating in the development of new profession-specific kit modules. Engineering, explosive drone. Basically, it looks like a Xindi super weapon, and it's just like you spawn it, it goes, and it goes, gets really close and blows up. It's equipped with an anti-proton beam as it approaches the target. Drone explodes within close proximity of target. Science, interphase decay. Applies damage resistance buff and physical damage over time effect to the target. Damage over time increases over duration. So your dot accelerates. So it's damage over time. Increasing over time. After 6 seconds, causes physical damage in an area around the target. Tactical, repulsor burst. Kinetic damage to target with severe knockback. Sounds like the tricorder one that I have. That sounds cool. Ranks 1, 2, and 3 can be found as bridge officer training manuals. These start at lieutenant for rank 1, lieutenant commander for rank 2, and commander for rank 3. Apparently there's a puppy. It's a Doberman? I don't know what that dog is. I feel dumb because I've seen that dog before. Maybe it's not. Not Doberman. Pincer, whatever. New cannons, beams, and ground weapons which incorporate Sphere Builder's extra-dimensional technology. Delphic anti-proton weapons have a chance to give their user a substantial crit hit and crit severity increase for a short time. The Low-Buy store contains the anti-proton repulsor, which has been properly shielded to prevent decay upon exposure to our dimension. At least they're sticking with that. This weapon has a single target primary fire and rapid sweep exploit secondary fire, and can trigger the Delphic anti-proton weapon. The primary fire can actually expose targets, so that's cool. And then you can get costumes for upper and lower body options for male and female characters, and the Sphere Builder lockbox is today. So now here's for the stats of the ships. Sphere Builder Denuus Carrier. It's got Commander Tactical, Temporal Operative Bridge Officer, and a Lieutenant Engineering Command Bridge Officer. So kind of a spread. What's good? We'll get down. The stats are right over here. It's got that, defensive configuration, offensive configuration, support configuration with the beam that tweaks out. It gets buffed based on how many configuration counters you have. That one. Comes equipped with Sphere Builder Heavy Fighters. These durable craft are equipped with anti-proton arrays, chronoton torpedoes, and beam overload 1, and channel deconstruction 1. As you can see, it's got an Ensign Science, Lieutenant Commander Science, and a Lieutenant Commander Universal. That Lieutenant Commander Science is kind of necessary for having a photonic shockwave, because if you're going to have a trait that affects photonic shockwave, you better be able to equip photonic shockwave, which photonic shockwave is a 1 and a 2/3. It's considered what I call science only. You need to have +10 weapon, +10 shield power. It's got the Tactical Carrier Mastery Package, so Hangar Pet recharge time, max hull hit points, weapon damage, max shield hit points, and then Delphic Shockwave. It now leaves a hazard behind when you use Photonic Shockwave and no longer knocks back. Like, where's the fun in that? It does have subsystem targeting though, but it does not have the boop, 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 boop sensor analysis. So half science vessel. The Chronoton Fragmentation Warhead, basically it's a torpedo, it's a console, but it launches a little torpedo that then spreads out and then attacks a target. And after a couple seconds, the things explode in the hull and bypass shield damage. Very cool. 3 weapons in the front, 3 in the back, because it's a carrier. Or 4 in the front, 3 in the back, 3 device slots. 4 tactical, as you see, 3 engineering, 4 science. Turn rate of very, very slow. And a terrible inertia, but that's a carrier. Now we've got the Science Vessel, which is also Tier 6. Commander Science, Temporal Operative. Good one there. Lieutenant Engineering and Intel, so sweet. Again, has that molecular deconstruction beam with all the various things. Offensive and number of offensive counters increases ability damage. Defensive counters increase abilities damage resistance debuff. And support counters increase the duration of the abilities disable. Comes with a single hangar bay of the heavy fighters, which have the same things as I said above. This is available in the low-buy store. It's shield modifier 1.45. Dear God, I think my Anorak says that. Anyways, 4 weapons in the front, 2 in the back. That's bullshit. 3 device slots. Lieutenant Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Engineering Intel, Ensign Science, Commander Science, Temporal Operative, Lieutenant Commander Universal, which will be a science. Console modifications, 4 Tactical, 2 Engineering, 5 Science, so heavy tactical. So for those of you that like to be science and also have some offensive capabilities and don't care about your healing, that's okay. It's a ship for you. Seems to be kind of like the tactical version of the Vesta. 5 weapon power, 5 shield power, 10 aux. Got that one. Subsystem targeting and sensor analysis. It's got just a science vessel thing, so exotic damage, shield healing, or shield hit points, healing, shield regen and hardness, and then Delphic phasing, which is the critically hitting your foes gives you damage resistance, and at 10 stacks you get immunity to energy damage for. So as you can see, it's really good and has the tactical to be able to. The Tier 5 Erebus Destroyer, Nimblecraft to rapidly engage the targets out in the Delphic Expanse. Balanced hull and shield. Shield modifier 0.95. 4 in the front, 3 in the back, 2 device slots. Lieutenant Tactical, Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Engineering, Ensign Science, and Lieutenant Commander Science. No secondaries on that. Wow. 4 Tactical, 1 Engineering, 4 Science. Wow. You better... Oh, that's a turn rate. That's a great impulse modifier. And your... Yeah, and your inertia is insane. Plus 15 weapon power. Can load dual cannons. Science vessel? No. Anyways, can upgrade it to Tier 5U, and it will get the Destroyer package, but no trait. It'll gain a tactical console slot, so that would be 5-1 precision, so it'll be plus accuracy, plus weapon damage, plus crit chance, plus crit hit. That'll be the 4 for its Tier 5U. If you have this little ship and the Dreadnought Carrier, you can purchase Sphere Builder Erebus Frigates as hangar pets. 2 consoles do have a set bonus. It is called, it's the items in the set are the Quantum Deceleration Field from the Science Vessel and then the Dreadnought thing. The 2-piece passive plus exotic damage. There's probably going to be a third ship, there's going to be a third one in there somewhere. Just because a 2-piece bonus of plus exotic damage, that's... The hangar pets. So the heavy fighters, which come default on both of them. Delphic Anti-Proton Beam, Chronoton Torpedo, Delphic Anti-Proton Beam Array in the aft. Beam Overload 1, Channel Deconstruction. Now we go down to the Elite Sphere Builder Heavy Fighters, the ultraviolet ones, the one that you get from the Fleet Hangar Pet Store. Still has the same weapons, Beam Overload 2, Torpedo High Yield 2, and Channel Deconstruction. That's pretty nuts, especially, I mean, High Yield 2 with Chronotron torpedoes? Holy shit. Sphere Builder, then the frigates, so if you have the Tier 5 and the Dreadnought carrier, you get the frigates. That's good. These are launched one at a time, and you only get 2 because they're frigates. They start with anti-proton beam array, dual beam bank up front, chronotron torpedo in the front, and an anti-proton beam in the back. They got rapid decay, channel deconstruction, and torpedo spread 1. The super duper one, the same weapons, rapid decay 1, channel deconstruction 1, torpedo spread 2, and beam fire at will 2. And they probably also have an absolutely butt ton of hit points. I have the Krenim frigates on my Anoraks, and those things barely die. Is Nausicaan Energy Lance. First week rewards are Nausicaan Disruptor Beam Array and the Nausicaan Energy Lance. In addition to first completion of the mission on this account will grant a weekly reward box. This box give a choice of Enhanced Universal Tech Upgrade or Captain Specialization Point box, which gives the character who opened it a specialization point. I don't really need one. So, tech upgrades it is! Weekly reward box, tech upgrade, blah, blah, blah. As a result, reverse engineered Nausicaan technology, scientists have created powerful disruptor-based devices, and disruptor energy delivered from these devices is volatile. Nausicaan Disruptor Beam Array counts as an energy weapon with the Entoil technology set. Collect additional pieces from this set. So, these are going to happen as the weeks go by. It's probably going to be a beam array, a torpedo, and a console. The 2-piece bonus modifies Disruptor Net, a chance to hold effect, to apply disruptor damage over time as well. Nausicaan Power Initiative, 3-piece. The 3-piece bonus provides an increase to disruptor damage and hull. So Disruptor Net is probably the console that's going to come next week. 3-piece provides an increased disruptor damage and hull penetration. Next week we'll reveal week 2's reward of Echoes of Light, but considering Disruptor Net, it's either a torpedo or a console, and it sounds more like a console. But anyway, so that's that. We've had all this wonderful stuff get released, and this video has been long, but it is necessary. I will chat with you guys next week, and we will see how week 2 is going. I'll catch you later. Bye!